This week on Beer in Front, we're diving into one of the greatest beer events anywhere, the Festival of Wood and Barrel-Aged Beers, better known as Fobab. It's the Super Bowl for brewers who know their way around oak, bourbon barrels, wild fermentation. Every fall, Chicago turns into the center of the barrel-aged universe with hundreds of creative, complex, and boozy beers from across the country pouring right here at Fobab. Joining me this week is Katie Carrier from the Illinois Craft Brewers Guild, the folks who make this whole thing happen. We'll talk about what goes into putting on an event like this, what's new for the festival this year, and maybe even share a few stories along the way. I'll also crack open a fantastic barrel-aged beer from Revolution to get into the Fobab spirit, share some beer news, and then dive into my conversation with Katie Carrier from the Illinois Craft Brewers Guild. That's coming up next on Beer in Front. This is Beer in Front, part of the Beer Media Group. Every week I'll talk to people in and around the beer world and get their stories all about beer. That's Beer in Front, and it's coming up now. Welcome to episode 275 of Beer in Front. I'm your host, Dave Zalatoris, and Beer in Front is a charter member of the Beer Media Group. This is the Fobab Preview Show. The Festival of Wood and Barrel-Aged Beer is right around the corner. It's coming up November 7th and 8th at the Credit Union One Arena in Chicago, Illinois. It's a phenomenal festival. It's on the Mount Rushmore of beer festivals in this country. I am so stoked about this. Later on in the show, I'm going to talk to Katie Carrier from the Illinois Craft Brewers Guild, and we're going to get all the details on Fobab. Now, we recorded this episode a couple weeks ago, and in the time between that recording and now, they've released the Brewers List. Oh, this is impressive. There's over 150 breweries here, so I'm not going to read them all off, but it's definitely a who's who in barrel-aged beer. Plenty of Illinois breweries. You have a lot of national ones as well. So if you're in the area, you need to head over to Fobab.com. Grab yourself some tickets because they're going quick. But this is something you do not want to miss. Later on in the show, I'm going to have the Cafe Deeth from Revolution and their Deepwood series is my beer in front. That is a barrel-aged beer with dark matter coffee. It's fantastic. I had it before I recorded. It's that good, but I'm going to crack it open and have it later on in this episode. If you didn't get a chance to listen to last week's show, please check that out when you're done listening to this one. I talked to the gentleman from Last Call, and I'm going to tell you now, going to Fobab, I'm going to be having this before because that's going to help me out the day after. You could also head over to their website, trylastcall.com. Use the code in the cart. You could save yourself a little money and try this for yourself. On next week's show, I'm going to be talking about fresh hopped beers. So I'm going to have a couple breweries from Colorado. This is really cool. I'm really excited about these interviews coming up next week where I'm going to record them during the week you're listening to this and have that out for you. But people are hopping in planes, going to hop farms, harvesting farms, flying back and making the beer. So I'm really excited about that. Stay tuned for that. That's going to come out next week. But let me shut up here and let's start talking about barrel-aged beers. In beer and beverage news, AleSmith is coming out with a variant of their Speedway Stout on their 30th anniversary. This is going to be Dutch apple pie, and they're going to have a banana cream pie edition. Sign me up for both of those. I'm a big fan of Speedway Stout, so I'll be grabbing both of those. Almanac Brewing is coming out with a chocolate stout called Smooches. Now, I guess they have to call it that. They have what appears to be a Hershey Kiss on the can, but it's not a Hershey Kiss. But if you're a fan of chocolate stouts, look for Smooches from Almanac. I talked with Rod J. over on the Midwest Beer Show about Lagunitas not coming out with their Born Yesterday. More bad news that Lagunitas is not going to put out their willetized barrel-aged beer. Now, according to what I saw over on My Beer Buzz, the reason for this is when they sold their Chicago facility in 2024, that was where they barrel-aged their beer. So I guess they don't have capacity in Petaluma. So if you're a fan of the willetized, you might want to drink some of your old stash because it's not coming back this year. In seltzer news, I'm a big fan of the Simply line, which is like the orange juice line, but they have a Simply Spiked that for seltzers I really enjoyed. Now they have like a bold line that's higher in ABV and got to go big or go home. They're coming out with Simply Spiked Boulder. That's going to be out next year. It's going to be 12%, but it's only going to be in 7.5 ounce cans. So if you like real boozy seltzers, be on the lookout for that from Simply. Minnesota's Surly Brewing, they've announced their 2025 bottle project. These are going to be 4 barrel-aged beers. They're going to have Boris, which is a bourbon barrel-aged barley wine, a Doppel Hellesbock that's aged in French oak called Lizzie, a bourbon barrel-aged strong ale with vanilla called Victor, and Vlad. That's a bourbon barrel-aged Belgian golden strong ale. It's going to be fermented with Brett. So look for those. You got to buy all 4 of them. It's going to set you back $100, but everything Surly puts out is great. So be on the lookout for their bottle project. In the THC beverage, Allen Iverson is teaming up with Viola. This is a cannabis brand that was founded by Al Harrington, who used to play in the NBA. They're coming out with a THC soda called Iverson. There's going to be a couple different flavors, a cranberry apple crossover, 96 nectarine, and a berry flavor. They're going to be 16-ounce cans with 10 milligrams of THC. So it's going to be around, I'm not sure if it's nationwide, but look out for that from Allen Iverson in Viola. I'd like to thank everyone that supports the show over on Patreon. If you'd like to help out the show, head over to patreon.com/beerinfront for more information. If you have any ideas or show suggestions, please email me, dave@beerinfront.com. The Festival of Wood and Barrel-Aged Beer is right around the corner. Fobab will be held this year on November 7th and 8th at the Credit Union One Arena in Chicago. Each session will have over 300 beverages from beer, mead, cider, Perry's, all of them aged in wood or wood barrels. There are 13 different categories that will be judged. Joining me today to give us a preview is Katie Carrier from the Illinois Craft Brewers Guild. Katie, thanks so much for joining this morning.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Now, before we get started, this is our first time chatting. Can you tell folks about yourself?
Absolutely. So I've been with the guild for over 12 years. Been running Fobab for over a decade. I'm a mom to 2 amazing boys, wife to my husband Rob, a gardener, a reader, a beer lover, a Halloween lover, and a summer baby.
Yeah.
So a little bit of me in a nutshell.
I could tell with the Halloween decor behind you there. Yes, you're getting ready. I mean, we're recording this on September 30th, so you're all set for tomorrow, October 1st.
I am. Spooky season is around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned beer lover. Do you remember the first beer, whether it was craft or even macro, that made you say, "Oh, wow, this is for me. This is what I want to do"?
Yeah, so I was trying to think about, because you change and you forget in your palate. changes, I would definitely say just, a pale ale with not too many like, not way blow your mouth off hoppy, but also and I still love them, a wit beer.
Yeah.
So, probably years ago, like, even just like that banana flavor too, a nice hef has, loved that. But as far as barrel aged, I can remember the Goose Island Vanilla Stout from, I think it was, like, '09 or '10 that I was like, "I can't get enough of this," and when it was gone, I was like, "This we have a problem, Houston, we
Yeah.
have a problem." So that's what I would say for me, especially loving that summertime, like a nice solid pale ale, or even a wit, which I know is not really, like, the most popular, but I love it.
Yeah, it's perfect for the summer. I was reading that, Blue Moon, which is probably a lot of people's first introduction into that style. Like they're now calling oranges like Blue Moon garnishes now. They're doing some sort of promotion, which I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of clever. I'll give them that."
Hey, yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Of the 13 categories at Fobab, is there like a personal favorite of yours, one that you're looking forward to this year?
So, I always love the specialty porter stout, kinda getting back to that vanilla barrel age. I love seeing a base stout that a brewery has, and when they add some kind of adjuncts, whether it's cherries or vanilla or something crazy that you really wouldn't think of, and then getting to try to see how they were able to perfect it and get that flavor to make me enjoy and do the happy dance. There's it's definitely probably my favorite. And then my second favorite would probably be fruit beer.
Yeah.
Not too sour, but a nice solid fruit beer, or as I like to call them, breakfast beers.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You have that with like a maple one, you're all good. You've got all the food groups covered for breakfast. Yeah.
Exactly.
We were talking like the weather. I was at Haymarket last week talking to Mike and Chris, and it's like, how's Fobab coming right around? It's like hot out here. So, what is the guild doing to get people all fired up for the festivities this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is so hard, right, to get out of that summer outside drinking because here in Illinois, like in the snap of a finger, things change. You get 80 degrees, and I think overnight we're having 30-degree drops. But one thing that we're doing is kind of reminding everybody of what's to come in the next couple months, right? All the fun things to look forward to and to kind of start getting your palate ready. And I don't know what it is, at least for me, is when the weather drops, my palate starts to go, I needed something a little bit heavier. I'm ready
Yeah.
for this. So, just kind of doing some teasers, telling the stories and showing the pictures of what was last year to remind people of what's to come this year.
Yeah, and I know like here in Chicago, Revolution has their latest release coming out at the end of the week. So hopefully that'll get people stoked. Like, oh yeah, the rest of this is right around the corner.
Right? It's interesting because you see Oktoberfest's release in July now,
Yeah.
and then barrel age, everyone's, starting to empty their barrels out and get their releases going in October and November. So, you'll start seeing, like you said, the revolutions of the world start getting those releases for people to line up and get your chance of getting a bottle of it.
Can people still get tickets for Fobab this year?
Yeah, so tickets went on sale a couple weeks ago. We have 2 easy locations to find the tickets at, illinoisbeer.org or fobab.com, but tickets are available. I wouldn't sit and wait on it, though. We're seeing them pop off, and, you don't wanna be one of those people left outside without a ticket to get in.
Yeah. You'll have clowns like us like staring at you from outside, holding up our
Right?
glass. Yeah. You know, and it's a great value. I mean, the price with all the fees I thought was like 90 something with the fees added in, but that's still a great value. You mentioned in the intro, there's like 300 different pours, all of them barrel age world class, and some of them are just like exclusive to the festival. So you'll never get a chance to try this one again. So if you're thinking, that's maybe a little steep for me, you got to consider what you're getting out of it.
100%. Plus, you have a lager lounge,
Yeah.
right? You're usually the Goose Island rail cars outside pouring the variants that, sometimes haven't even been released yet. You have beers that, like you said, they're brewed exclusively for Fobab. you will never get to buy them. You'll never get to try them again. This could be, the unicorn beer that you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah.
And to your point, the ticket, a bottle of barrel-aged beer is what? 20, 30, 40, $50. I mean, and you're getting a 5-ounce pour of that. You're essentially getting almost half of a can.
Yeah.
And that's just one. And so, it's definitely, I think, worth the price, and you can't find it on a fest like this anywhere else. So,
Definitely you're getting value for your money. One of the things that I looked at that I thought was really cool is like all the participants this year, you could be a judge yourself. There's a fan favorite award. So whether you go to the Friday session or the Saturday session, you could vote for your favorite pour at Fobab. So that's really cool. What else is new for this year?
yeah, so the fan favorite is back. We're going to make it, I think, a little bit easier to vote. We were talked about kind of doing that physical ticket, versus having to go on your phone and doing that, making it easier for people to cast their vote. Because we're always interested to see what people like. We're continuing to encourage breweries to bring the best of the best. And there's going to be probably some other additions, but still, believe it or not, in the planning stages. So we'll probably have some exciting things to announce in the next coming weeks. But, we're seeing some new breweries that haven't signed up for Fobab before that I know people have probably been waiting to see participate, and they're here. So really excited about that, but excited for the few other things that'll be kind of trickling in for fun announcements to come.
Yeah, looking at the website, it looks like there's the not a raffle or a contest, like you're going to pick winners to like skip the line, so you don't have to wait in line for some of the the big name releases.
Yeah, so we did it last year, but we're doing it a little bit bigger this year, where we have more opportunity for people to win. So there's the skip the line pass, and that also means that when you're outside and it could be cold, it could be hot, we don't know, it's Chicago, right?
Yeah.
You get to skip to be in the front to get into that door. So you could show up 2 minutes before the doors open and you get to be right in the front with that skip the line.
Oh,
But then you get that skip the line for every single entry. So you're wearing this bedazzled little badge, and it's not just for you. The winner gets to bring a friend because we know buddy system,
yeah.
right? So the winner, you bring your friend. So you and your friend get to skip that line. So it could be one of those really long, crazy lines everybody waits for, and you don't know what you're missing. You get to skip right ahead. And then the other raffle is for the VIP experience. So what some people don't know is that we kind of wine and dine our brewers and sponsors, and there's a back area where we feed them, and there's just a bunch of different things to do that is not open to the general public. Well, a few lucky winners, along with their friend, get to not only have this skip a line experience, this also goes for the Lager Lounge, mind you, but they also get to be in the VIP experience to have some beers that might are donated by some of the participating brewers, eat amazing barbecue by Firewater Barbecue. Thank you as the sponsor for the Brewers Lounge. And it's a really cool experience. Plus, they get to mix and mingle with all the breweries that are coming in. And I'm going to tell you, I get a little starstruck with some of them. I'm like, "Ugh, I have loved your beer forever. You
Yeah.
are my hero." So it's just a really cool experience. And I know that the brewers are amazing, that they'll sit and have a chat with those winners too. So pretty cool opportunity for $5 or $10 raffle ticket to win something that essentially doesn't have a price tag.
You mentioned the Lager Lounge a couple times. That was like so cool. I love that. It's almost like you're torn because there's so many great lagers upstairs, but you're there for barrel age. But so that's going to be a continuing feature for Fobab.
Yeah, so back by popular demand is the Lager Lounge. We are excited to have some returning breweries that bring some banger lagers that are, the keg blows before we know it, plus some new ones that we're really excited about that are known for their lagers. Once again, that dive bar feel. And, yeah, we got the BAs down on the main floor, but it's a little reprieve to have kind of that palate cleansing non-barrel aged lager, and it's just always a fun time, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I mean, it was so cool up there. And there were so many great beers that were up there. And it's not just like one beer. There had to be, what, 10 to 15 different breweries participating, if I remember right, last year. And they were all like outstanding. It's like, yeah, I was mentioning, you're just torn. Like, I really want this crispy lager.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, this year we have 20, so
Oh,
we're
20.
really
Okay.
excited to roll out, 5 additional. People love it, so we listen, we
Yeah.
hear you, it's back.
Well, Illinois is the barrel age capital of the world, but Fobab is not like exclusive to Illinois breweries. There always seems to be like some fantastic regional and even national breweries. Is the lineup set yet for 2025?
Not yet. I love my brewers, but they are still straggling, as far as entry. What I can say though, pretty excited that there's 2 international breweries participating this year. But still representing about 20 to 25 different states. As I mentioned, some new ones that have never participated before. But we're hoping to have the list announced in like the next 2 weeks, barring that everybody kind of gets submitted and entered in the amount of time that I need.
Yeah, and you have, as we're recording this, the GABF is in a couple of weeks, so I'm sure a lot of breweries are have their mind is focused on that. And then once GABF is over, then they can, oh yeah, Phobab's in like 2 weeks. Let's get ready for that.
100%, and some of them are judging right now as we speak, so this is a very busy time, people are still having their Oktoberfest, they have GABF, and so Fobab comes around, it's like that mindset, they gotta get past
Yeah.
each thing that's happening, yeah.
Well, the location for Fobab is perfect. The Credit Union One Arena, it's easily accessible via public transportation. I know I took the Blue Line and walked a block or two. You could take Ubers or Lyfts, and don't be a knucklehead and drive because it's barrel age. So just take the train, take the Uber. If you're not from Chicago, when you're thinking, oh, big bad Chicago, take the Blue Line. It's safe. I'll join you on the Blue Line, but definitely take public transportation. And the arena is great.
No, it's pretty awesome. It allows for those who've been to Fobabs in the past in different, facilities, this one allows for an inside and an outside, which is nice, and I'm gonna tell you, you walk outside and you're surrounded by the beautiful city lights, and, it's a neat experience to be able to experience the fun in November inside and outside.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, the Goose Island train car. So yeah, that's cool. Nice crisp fall day. You can go outside, get something there, cool
Enjoy
off a
the
little bit.
fire pits outside, sip
Yeah.
your barrel aged by fire pits.
Well,
Exactly.
events that like Fobab and Beer Under Glass, they help fund the guild and all the great work you guys do throughout the year for breweries and consumers here in the state of Illinois. For those that aren't familiar, what does the Illinois Craft Brewers Guild do for breweries here?
Absolutely. So we're a not profit. We are under kind of a three little system of advocacy, education, and promotion. And so the goal is to continue to fight for small brewing rights, to educate not only the brewers with our quarterly meetings and different things to help keep them up to date with their education, but also for the public to educate them on, you know, the Illinois craft beers and what the breweries are doing, and then with that promotion to let the public know what these breweries are doing, whether it's the fun things at their breweries or the philanthropic things that they're doing for the communities around them. Breweries do a lot and they give back a lot. So it's just that continued promotion to drink Illinois and visit your neighborhood breweries, and continue giving them the love, and especially now more than ever, to get out and support. And but that in a nutshell is what ICBG does. And so events like Fobab and Beer Under Glass are what keeps us going and what helps us to continue to do fun things, and keep the love for Illinois beer
Yeah.
going.
Well, I know you've got a lot on your plate with Fobab coming up, so maybe not for 2025, but I have an idea for 2026.
I'm
So
all
we've
ears.
got the fans, the attendees can vote on the fan favorite. Make some pencils from the barrels out of the barrel aged beer. Oh, those will sell like hotcakes. You'll be able to retire, Katie. You put those out. Oh, this one came from Old Irving's barrel. Oh, this one came from such and such.
Dave,
Huh?
you're a genius.
Yes. I mean, and the pencils will smell great. We
Right?
talked to Marty. Marty knows everything about wood over at Rev. Marty, save
He
us
is the
some
man.
barrels. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Barrel
love
aged
this
pencils.
idea.
Yes.
Dave, I'm writing it down, and it's gonna be my goal for 2026. I love
Yeah.
it.
Well, Katie, I appreciate it. Once again, November 7th and 8th, Credit Union One Arena. Like I said, you could take the blue line, you could take an Uber or Lyft, just however you want to get down there, get down there. Katie, I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person in November.
Absolutely. We'll cheers and have a beer together. Looking forward to it.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day.
All right, the beer that's in front of me now for this Fobab Preview Edition is from Revolution. This is Cafe Deeth. This is an imperial stout aged in bourbon barrels, steeped with dark matter coffee. This clocks in at 14.8%. I mentioned on the intro, I had this before. It's phenomenal. I'm just going to shut up, crack this open, and let's have the Cafe Deeth. Outstanding, beautiful color here. Nice couple fingers of chocolate milk looking foam. It looks phenomenal. Oh my God. You get the coffee that just blasts you with the aroma. Then it brings up the bourbon barrel notes and the malt. Absolutely smells phenomenal. Like, could you put this, Marty, can you put this in like a little cologne bottle, or I could like dab this on for the ladies to smell nice, because this is a good smell and aroma right here. That is so good. The coffee hits me up front. Everything else like brings up the middle and the rear. It's so smooth. Like, this doesn't taste like a beer that's almost 15%. But the coffee flavor on this is absolutely phenomenal. If you're a fan of coffee beers, if you're a fan of barrel-aged stouts, you need to grab yourself this Cafe Deeth. But it's just, it's perfect. It's very, like, the carbonation is good mouthfeel. I'm getting like almost like a little vanilla out of this as well. It's got like a sweet taste to it, which is balancing the bitterness of the coffee. Like, the bourbon notes bring up the rear. It's just phenomenal. It's just such a great beer. Yeah, that's just phenomenal. I have one can of this left, so I'm going to have to keep that for a special occasion or something, but that's just a great beer. You can pick it up now. If you see it, you got to grab it, put it in the cart. Cafe Deeth, part of the Deepwood series from Revolution. This is the 2025 edition. If you see it, just put it in the cart. Don't think about it. Just do it. The beer is that good. All right, that's going to wrap things up for this edition of Beer in Front. I thank you very much for listening. I want to thank Katie Carrier from the Illinois Craft Brewers Guild for coming on and talking about Fobab. Grab yourself some tickets. I will see you there. And remember, sometimes the barrel-aged beer in front of you is the best one yet.